Battle traits for Seraphon, you've got once per battle in the deployment phase, you pick an asterism ability, and it's used for the rest of the battlefield, but you can only use the one, unless, in the third battle round, you do one of these things. For Itzel the Tamer, 3 or more enemy units have been destroyed. For Quetzal the Preserver, there are no enemy units wholly within friendly territory. For Sotek the Deliverer, the enemy general is in combat or has been destroyed. For Tapak the Seer, there's friendly Slan units on the battlefield, no friendly Slan units are in combat or have been destroyed. And then the effect is you get to pick an extra asterism. So what do these asterisms do? You've got Itzel the Tamer, that companion weapons by Seraphon units have crit 2 hits. Quetzal the Preserver is subtract 1 from rend characteristic of melee weapons that target Seraphon units wholly within friendly territory. Sotek the Deliverer, add 2 to the move of Seraphon units. And Tipak the Seer, add 1 of the casting rolls for friendly Seraphon units. For battle formations, we've got the Sunclaw Star Host. Once per turn, at the end of any turn, you get the Vengeance of Azir, where you pick 3 friendly Saurus or Krogscore units that are in combat. For each target, you make a pile-in move, then pick an enemy unit in combat and roll a d3 on a 2-up, inflict an amount of mortal damage equal to the roll. And then the Lore of Celestial Manipulation, casting value of 6, you've got Mystical Unforging, pick a friendly Seraphon Wizard, pick an enemy unit within 12 inches. Subtract 1 from the rend characteristic of the target's weapons until the start of your next turn. And it's an unlimited spell, so you can kind of decrease the rend by 2 if you have the Quetzal the Preserver. So make your units a lot tankier. Slan Star Master has 9 health, 5-inch move, 5-up save, control 2. Azure Lightning, 6 attacks, 3-up, 3-up, rend 1, 1 damage. Crit mortals. Passive Masters of Order, you can add 1 to casting rolls and unbind and dispel manifestations anywhere on the battlefield instead of within 30 inches. Celestial Equilibrium, casting value of 6. For the rest of the turn, add 1 to the casting rolls for Seraphon Wizards wholly within 12 inches that aren't him. Arcane Vassal, once per turn you can pick a friendly Skink Wizard wholly within 18, and you measure the range of the spells from the Skink instead of the Slan. And once per turn in your hero phase, Celestial Reinforcements, you can pick a friendly Seraphon unit that started the battle with 3 or more models and has been destroyed. On a 4-up, set them up within 12 inches of this unit, more than 9, and with half the number. And then has a ward of 6-up and can cast 3 spells. Saurus Old Blood on Carnosaur has 14 health, 10-inch move, 4-up save, control 5. Sunbolt Gauntlet, 12-inch range, d6 attacks, 3-up, 3-up, rend 1, 1 damage, can shoot in combat. The Sunstone Spear, 5 attacks, 3-up, 3-up, rend 1, 2 damage, does an extra damage on the charge. The Clawed Forelimbs, 4 attacks, 4-up, 2-up, rend 1, 3 damage. And the Massive Jaws, 3 attacks, 4-up, 2-up, rend 2, 3 damage. Gets 2 attacks with the Jaws if he's taken 10 or more damage. The Spearhead of the Charge, if he's charged, add 1 to the charge rolls for friendly Saurus units wholly within 18 of him. Passive Terror, subtract 2 from the control scores of enemy units while they're in combat. And then once per turn in any combat phase, Blood Frenzy, if it's in combat with any damaged enemy monsters on a 3-up, this unit gets strike first. Pterodon Riders have 3 health, 14-inch move, 5-up save, control 1. Their Javelins and Bolas, 10-inch range, 3 attacks, 4-up, 5-up, no rend, 1 damage. Crit is an auto wound. And then their Razor Sharp Jaws, 3 attacks, 4-up, 3-up, rend 1, 1 damage. In their movement phase, you've got Deadly Cargo. Pick an enemy unit that this unit has passed across. Roll a dice for each model in this unit, and add 2 to the roll if this unit is within the combat range of any friendly Seraphon Chief units. For each 5-up, 3-up if there's a Pterodon Chief. Inflict 1 mortal damage on the target. If any damage points are allocated and the target does not have fly, they cannot use run abilities until the start of your next turn. And then passive attack from on high, subtract 1 for hit rolls for shooting attacks that target this unit. Engine of the Gods, 14 health, 8-inch move, 4-up save, control 5, 12-inch range with its javelin, 6 attacks, 4-up, no rend, 1 damage, shoot in combat. The Horns and Jaws, 6 attacks, 4-up, 2-up, rend 1, 2 damage, extra damage on the charge. While he's taken 10 or more damage, gets 4 attacks. Once per turn in any combat phase, if an enemy unit charged and is in combat with this unit, roll a d3 on a 2-up, inflicts an amount of mortal damage on the target equal to the roll. Add 1 to save rolls for attacks made that target this unit from that target. And you've got in your hero phase the Cosmic Engine. You harness or reserve. If you reserve, you get a Cosmic Power Point that you get to add to the roll when you harness. 3 up, you can heal D3 to friendly Seraphon units within 12. 5 up, pick 3 units within 12, restore slain model. Or 6 up, pick 3 units wholly within 12, they get the strike first. The Spearhead, you've got Starscale Warhost, Beast of the Dark Jungles. Pick your general to use this ability if they're in combat. You get either Gargantuan Jaws, or you pick an enemy unit and roll a dice. If the roll exceeds the unit's health characteristic, one model in the unit is slain. Or Roar, pick an enemy unit in combat with your general, subtract d6 from the unit's control score. Then you've got Source Warriors, 2 health, 5-inch move, 4 up save, control 1. 2 attacks, 3 up, rend 1 damage, and Ordered Cohorts, add 1 to save rolls while it's contesting an objective you control. Battle traits for the Slaves of Darkness, you've got the Eye of the Gods. Each friendly Slaves of Darkness unit that destroyed an enemy unit is the target of this ability at the end of any turn. Friendly beasts and non-hero monsters cannot be targeted. You roll a d6, 1, no effect, 2, you heal 3, 3, you add 1 to hit rolls for the rest of the battle, 4, you get a ward of 6 up, 5 up if you have a 6 up ward, 5, add 1 to the rend of their melee weapons, or 6, pick any of the effects. It can be applied multiple times to a unit, and more than one effect can apply to a unit at the same time. Passive is the March of Chaos. Friendly Slaves to Darkness have one of the following effects if they have the Mark of Chaos keyword. Undivided is add 1 to wound rolls that target a hero or monster. Khorne is add 1 to the attacks of the melee weapons if they charge. Tzeentch is they have a 4 up ward against mortal damage inflicted by spell and manifestations. Nurgle subtract 1 from wound rolls. Slaanesh add 1 to run and charge rolls. Battle formations, you've got the God's Wrath Warband. You pick an objective that is contested by any friendly units to be the target. Place a defiled token next to the target objective. Then roll d3 for each enemy unit contesting an objective that has a defiled token. On a 2-up, inflict an amount of mortal damage on that enemy unit equal to the roll. And then spell from the Lore of the Damned, you've got casting value of 7, demonic speed. Pick a friendly Slaves to Darkness wizard. Pick a friendly Slaves to Darkness unit within 12 inches. For the rest of the turn, add 1 to the number of dice rolled to a maximum of 3. Be'lakor has 14 health, 14-inch move, 4 up save, control 10. The Blade of Shadows is 8 attacks, 3 up, rend 2 damage. Crit is auto wound. Fellclaw and Spearing Tail, 2 attacks, 2 up, rend 2 damage. Charge does an extra damage. While he's taking 10 or more damage, gets 6 attacks with his sword. He ignores modifiers to save rolls, positive or negative, once per turn in the enemy combat phase. You pick this unit up to 2 friendly Slaves of Darkness. On a 4-up, each gets a strike first. Once per battle in the enemy hero phase, you pick a visible enemy unit, and until the start of your next turn, each time the target is picked to use an ability, roll a dice as a reaction. On a 3-up, the ability has no effect. And casting value 6, spell Enfeeble Foe, pick a visible enemy within 18, and they subtract 1 from hit rolls, and they cannot score critical hits. Wizard 2, ward of 6 up. Regular Demon Prince, you've got 10 health, 8-inch move, 3 up save, control 5, 6 attacks with their Hellforged weapons, 3 up, rend 1, 3 damage, crit mortal. They can also take a Mark of Chaos, and you can take either Wings or Trophy Rack. If you take Wings, it gets a move of 10 inches and can fly. If you take Trophy Rack, its weapons have an anti-hero ability. In your hero phase, you have Ruinous Power. You pick a friendly non-unique unit wholly within 12 that shares the Mark of Chaos keyword. On a 3-up, the target can immediately use the Eye of the God ability as if it were the end of the turn and they had destroyed an enemy unit. And then also has a ward of 6 up. Chaos Knights have 4 health, 10-inch move, 3 up save, control 1. Their Cursed Lances have 3 attacks, 3 up, rend 1 damage. Charge does an extra damage. Their War Steed's Hooves, 2 attacks, 5 up, no rend 1 damage. You can take the March of Chaos, and their passive is Impaling Charge. If they charge this turn, for the rest of the turn, add 1 to the rend characteristic of their lances. And you can take Champion, Musician, and Standard Bearer. Dark Oath Marauders, 1 health, 5-inch move, 5 up save, control 1. They've got their Raider weapons, 2 attacks, 4 up, no rend 1 damage. Once per battle in any charge phase, if they charged and the unmodified charge roll was an 8+, add 1 to the rend characteristic of the weapons for the rest of the battle. And passive Glorious Death while they're wholly within 12 inches of any friendly Dark Oath heroes. Each time a model in this unit is slain by a combat attack, and that model was in combat with the attacking unit, roll a dice on a 5-up, inflict 1 mortal damage on the attacking unit after the fight has been resolved. Also has Champion Musician out of 10, Standard Bearer out of 10. And they are undivided. Spearhead rules, you've got the Bloodwind Legion. The once per turn at the end of any turn, Eye of the Gods, basically same thing. Pick one of the following friendly units to use this ability. A unit that is contesting an objective not controlled by your opponent and is not in combat, or a unit that destroyed an enemy unit this turn. Roll once on the Eye of the Gods table for the unit. They gain the passive ability. If the same unit gains the same ability more than once, the effects are not cumulative. 1 is no effect. 2 is they get a ward of 6-up. 3, they add 1 to run rolls. 4, subtract 1 from wound rolls that target them. 5, add 1 to the rend characteristic, or 6, pick whichever one. And then your Chaos Warriors have 2 health, 5-inch move, 3-up save, control 1. They're Rune-Etched Halberds, 2 attacks, 3-up, rend 1, 1 damage. And Bringers of Desolation, add 1 to wound rolls for combat attacks made by this unit that target an enemy unit that is contesting objective you do not control. We get some real simple Ironjawz battle traits once per turn in any hero phase. You've got Mighty Destroyers. Pick a friendly Ironjawz unit that was not set up this turn to be the target. They can move up to 3 inches. It can move into combat. If it was in combat, it must end the move in combat. And then once per battle in your charge phase, you've got the Ironjawz Wog. Pick a friendly Ironjawz hero to be the target. For the rest of the turn, the following effects apply to friendly Ironjawz units while they're wholly within 18 inches of the target. Add 1 to charge rolls, add 1 to the attacks of their melee weapons. Pretty simple. Some interesting things they can do there. For battle formations, we've got the Ironjawz Brawl with the passive Natural Disaster. If you make an unmodified charge roll of 8+ for a friendly non-hero Ironjawz unit, add 1 to the attacks characteristic of their melee weapons for the rest of the turn. And their spells, you got casting value of 6. It's an unlimited spell called Basham Lads. Pick a friendly Ironjawz wizard to cast the spell. Pick a friendly Ironjawz unit wholly within 12. The target's melee weapons have crit 2 hits for the rest of the turn. Gordrak has 20 health, 10-inch move, 3-up save, control 5. Big Thief's Roar, 8-inch range, 6 attacks, 2-up, 3-up, no rend, 1 damage, can shoot in combat. Smasha and Cunnin, 8 attacks, 3-up, 2-up, rend 1, 2 damage, anti-hero. The Fist and Tail, 8 attacks, 4-up, 2-up, rend 1, 3 damage, anti-monster. When he's taking 10 or more damage, you get 6 attacks with the Fist and Tail. Once per turn in the combat phase, you pick an enemy monster, roll dice on a 3-up, pick the target's one of the target weapons. It must have the companion weapon. You must pick the companion weapon if it has any. Have the attack's characteristic rounding up. Once per battle, when you declare a WA, add 1 to hit rolls for friendly Ironjawz units while they're wholly within 18 inches of this unit. And at the end of turn, if any damage points were allocated to an enemy unit and the enemy unit is destroyed, give it a WOG token. At the end of the next turn, add 1 to the attack's characteristic of this unit's weapons for each WOG token it has. The War Chanter has 6 health, 4-inch move, 4-up save, control 2, Gore Stick and More Stick, 6 attacks, 4-up, 3-up, no rend, D3 damage, and if any enemy models were slain in this turn by their combat attacks, give this unit D3 ritual points. Priest of 1, and one of the prayers he can do is cast ritual points needing 4. Pick a Ironjawz Priest, pick a friendly Ironjawz unit wholly within 12. Add 1 to the damage characteristic of their melee weapons. If the chanting roll was an 8+, you can pick 2 targets instead of 1. Brutes have 3 health apiece, 4-inch move, 3-up save, control 1. Their brute weapons, 3 attacks, 4-up, 3-up, rend 1, 2 damage, and is anti-infantry. The Gore Choppa, 3 attacks, 4-up, 3-up, rend 2, 3 damage. 1 in 5 can take the Gore Choppa. The champion cannot replace their weapons. And then passive, You Messin. Enemy models with a health characteristic of 1 or 2 cannot contest objectives when they're in combat with this unit. Pretty powerful, kind of heavy infantry unit. The Maul Grunta with Hackett Crew, 12 health, 10-inch move, 3-up save, control 5. Choppas, 4 attacks, 4-up, 3-up, rend 1, 2 damage. Kill Choppas, 4 attacks, 4-up, 3-up, rend 1, 1 damage. Maul Grunter's Tusk, 5 attacks, 4-up, 2-up, rend 2, 2 damage. Maul Grunter's Trotters, 4 attacks, 5-up, 2-up, no rend, D3 damage. The passive of Unstoppable Momentum, each time they use the charge ability, it gains a momentum point. Each time it uses a run, it gains 2 momentum points. It can have a max of 3. Add the number of momentum points to the damage of their tusk. At the end of each battle round, subtract 1 from the momentum points. Once per turn in your movement phase, you've got Carve a Path. If it's in combat, it can move a distance up to its move. It can pass through models, but it cannot end in combat. Then pick each enemy unit that it moved across, roll a d3 on a 2-up, inflict amount of mortal damage equal to the roll, then it gains 2 momentum points. Also, no spearhead rules. Battle traits for Sylvaneth, you've got Endless Growth. Once per turn at the end of any turn, you pick any number of friendly Sylvaneth units wholly within 6 inches of a friendly Awakened Wildwood and heal d3 to them. And once per turn at the end of any turn, you can strike and fade, pick a friendly Sylvaneth unit that is in combat and is wholly within 6 inches of a friendly Awakened Wildwood. Remove the unit from the battlefield and set it up again on the battlefield more than 9 inches from all enemy units, and wholly within 6 inches of a different friendly Awakened Wildwood. And then once per turn in your movement phase, you can walk the hidden paths, pick a friendly Sylvaneth unit that is not in combat, and is wholly within 6 inches of a friendly Awakened Wildwood to use this ability. Remove the unit from the battlefield, set it up on the battlefield more than 9 from enemies, and wholly within 6 inches of a different Awakened Wildwood. Battle formations, you've got Lords of the Clan, giving you the passive healing song. When you use the Endless Growth, friendly Sylvaneth monsters can heal 3 instead of heal d3. And then the Lore of the Deepwood, casting value 6 Tree Song, pick a friendly Sylvaneth wizard. It's an unlimited spell. If there are fewer than 3 friendly Awakened Wildwoods, you can set up an Awakened Wildwood wholly within 18 inches of the caster, more than 3 inches from all enemy units, objectives and terrain features. If there's already 3 Awakened Wildwoods, heal 3 to each friendly Awakened Wildwood. Pretty powerful ability to bring those terrain features onto the board, giving your creatures some mobility and healing. Alariel the Everqueen, 16 health, 14-inch move, 3-up save, control 5. The Spear of Kurnoth is a 12-inch range, 1 attack, 2-up, 3-up, rend 2, 4 damage. Spear of Kurnoth melee is 5 attacks, 3-up, 3-up, rend 2, 2 damage. Wardroth's Great Antlers, 6 attacks, 4-up, 2-up, rend 2, 4 damage. 4 attacks if he's taken 10 or more damage with those antlers. In any hero phase, you pick one of the following effects, add 1 to the casting rolls for the unit, or heal 2d3. Casting value of spell Metamorphosis, pick an enemy unit within 12, deal 2d3 mortal damage. If they're destroyed, you use the effects of Tree Song. Rite of Life in your movement phase, pick a friendly Sylvaneth unit that's been destroyed. On a 4-up, set them up within range of a Wildwood. If they're a monster, have them having taken 8 damage. In the charge phase, if you've charged an infantry unit within an inch, roll a dice on a 3-up, inflict amount of mortal damage equal to the roll. Ward of 6-up, wizard 3. Spirit of Durthu, you've got 14 health, 5-inch move, 3-up save, control 5. You've got the Verdant Blast, 12-inch range, 5 attacks, 4-up, 3-up, rend 1, 2 damage. Guardian Sword, 4 attacks, 3-up, 2-up, rend 2, 5 damage. An anti-monster. The Massive Impaling Talons, 2 attacks, 4-up, 2-up, rend 2, 3 damage. Crits are mortals. While he's taken 10 or more damage, his Guardian Sword is 3 attacks. Once per turn in any combat phase, you pick an enemy monster in combat. On a 3-up, subtract 1 from the attack characteristic of their melee weapons for the rest of the turn. And then passive Wrathful Guardian, add 1 to hit rolls for this unit's combat attacks while it's within 3 inches of a Wildwood. And that's about it for him, but he's a really powerful character. Spite Revenants have 2 health, 5-inch move, 5-up save, control 1. Their Cruel Talons and Fangs, 3 attacks, 3-up, 4-up, rend none, 1 damage, and it's crit mortals. In any combat phase, they have Unbridled Malice. Pick an enemy infantry unit in combat. On a 3-up, they cannot use commands for the rest of the turn. Pretty interesting kind of heavy infantry for this Sylvaneth. The Spite Rider Lancers, 5 health, 12-inch move, 4-up save, control 2. The Spite Rider Lance, 3 attacks, 3-up, 4-up, rend 1, 1 damage. Charge is plus 1 damage and is anti-cavalry, so it gets an extra rend against cavalry. Sharp Mandibles, 3 attacks, 4-up, 3-up, rend 1, 1 damage. Gets extra damage on the charge as well. Passive, they have a coherency range of 2 inches. End of any turn, you can heal 3 to this unit. And in any combat phase, if they charge, roll a dice. On a 3-up, they get the strike first for the rest of the turn. For Spearhead, you've got the Bitterbark Copse. Once per turn at the end of any turn, heal 1 each friendly unit that is within 3 inches of any terrain features. And then once per turn, at the end of any turn, you've got Strike and Fade. Pick a friendly unit that used a fight ability and is within 3 inches of any terrain feature and roll a dice. On a 2-up, remove the unit from the battlefield, set it up again so that each model in the unit is within 3 inches of any terrain features and more than 6 inches from all enemy units. And then you've got Khorne Hunters, 5 health, 5-inch move, 4-up save, control 2. The bows, you've got an 18-inch range, 2 attacks, 3-up, rend 1, 2 damage. And the Vicious Claws, 3 attacks, 3-up, no rend, 1 damage. The passive Envoys of the Everqueen, while it's contesting an objective, friendly units contesting the objective have a ward of 6-up. Make them a pretty powerful objective contester. Battle traits for the Blades of Chaos. Passive is Blood Tithe. You start the battle with 0. You get 1 each time a unit, enemy or friendly, is destroyed. And you can use those for certain abilities. For 2 Blood Tithe points, you can use the Spell Eater Curse to unbind a spell. And you can only use 1 of these per turn. In any movement phase, you can spend 8 Blood Tithe points to either add 1 to the attacks characteristic of melee weapons by Blades of Khorne units for the rest of the battle, or pick a friendly non-unique Bloodthirster that has been destroyed, set up an identical unit on the battlefield more than 9 inches from enemy units. In the movement phase, Murderlust can move 3 inches for 1 Blood Tithe point. The Brass Skull Meteor for 4 Blood Tithe points. Pick an enemy unit that's visible to the hero, and it roll 8 dice for every 3-up inflict mortal damage. And then in any combat phase, heads must roll, spend 6 to add 1 to the rend characteristic of melee weapons. Battle formations, you've got the Coordinate Legion once per turn. Its reaction when you declared a fight ability for a Blades of Khorne demon unit. You pick a friendly Bloodbound unit that has not used a fight ability this turn, is within 12. They can immediately do a fight after this. The unit that declared the ability has already fought. And then you've got the Prayer needs a 4 to summon the Hexagorger Skulls. If there's not a friendly Hexagorgers, pick a Priest to chant the prayer, make a chanting roll of d6. Set up a Hexagorger Skulls wholly within 12 of the caster, visible to them and more than 9 inches from all enemy units. A Hexagorger Skulls invocation has 2 parts that must be within 8 inches of each other. The Bloodthirster of Insensate Rage, 16 health, 12-inch move, 4-up save, control 5. The Great Axe of Khorne, 5 attacks, 3-up, 2-up, rend 2, 5 damage, and is anti-infantry. When he's taken 10 or more damage, he gets 3 attacks with his axe. And then passive is Outrageous Carnage. Each time an attack made by this unit scores a critical hit, inflicts d3 mortal damage on each enemy unit within 8 of it after the fight ability has been resolved. And then once per turn in any charge phase, you've got Shattering Charge. Roll a d3 on a 2-up, inflict an amount of mortal damage on the target equal to the roll. If it's infantry, do an additional 3 mortal damage to it. And then it's got a ward of 5-up. Bloodletters have 2 health, 5-inch move, 5-up save, control 1. Their Hellblades have 2 attacks, 3-up, rend 1, 1 damage, and crit mortal. At the end of any turn, if this unit is in combat, you can return d3 slain models to this unit with the Thinning Veil ability, and they have a ward of a 6-up for their kind of more standard demon infantry, pretty powerful. Karanak has 7 health, 8-inch move, 5-up save, control 2. The Savage Mauls and Gore Slick Claws, 6 attacks, 4-up, 3-up, rend 1, 2 damage, and it is anti-hero. In your deployment phase, you pick an enemy hero to be the unit's quarry. You can pick a hero in reserve. Passive First of the Pack, while this unit is wholly within 12 inches of a friendly Fleshhound unit, add to the charge rolls for this unit. In addition, while any friendly Fleshhound units are wholly within 12 inches of this unit, they can ignore the effect of the Beast ability. Then in your enemy movement phase, you've got Stalk the Prey. If this unit's quarry moved this phase, this unit can move up to 8 inches. It cannot move into combat during any part of the move and must move closer to its quarry, and a ward of 6-up. Blood Warriors have 2 health, 5-inch move, 3-up save, control 1. Their Gore Axe is 3 attacks, 4-up, 3-up, rend 1, 1 damage. And the Gore Glaive, 3 attacks, 4-up, 3-up, rend 2, 2 damage. 1 in 10 models can replace the Gore Axe with a Gore Glaive, but the champion cannot. Passive No Respite. Each time a model in this unit is slain by a combat attack and it was in combat with the attacking unit, roll 2 dice. For each 5-up, inflict 1 mortal damage on the attacking unit after the fight ability has been resolved. Spearhead rules, you've got the Blood Tithe. Each time a unit is destroyed during the battle, you receive 1 Blood Tithe point. And then once per turn in any hero phase, you've got Heads Must Roll, spend 3 Blood Tithe points and pick up to 3 friendly units. Add 1 to the rend characteristic of that unit's melee weapons, and then for 1 Blood Tithe point, you pick D3 friendly units. Each one of them can move D6, roll for each. The Mighty Skull Crushers, 5 health, 8-inch move, 2-up save, control 2. Gorglaive is 3 attacks, 3-up, rend 1 damage, charge does an extra damage. And the Juggernaut's Brazen Hooves, 2 attacks, 4-up, 3-up, rend 1, D3 damage. And then in your charge phase, you've got the Brass Stampede. If the unit charged this phase, pick an enemy unit within an inch. On a 2-up, inflict 1 mortal damage on the target.